Um, ladies, please, 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 please. I just got done watching another video, and they put a bunch of people in there, some Christian, some not. Um, what was it? I should be screen recording this or something, but this is about abortion. A good video, but and they explained a lot of stuff. Um, I just don't get it. Like, well, I do get it. You know, um, YouTube. Here it is. Why am I? What the heck? Why are we buffing? For what? Get out of there. Get on my nerves. Um, I'll need to go to history. That's not my history. Oh, that's because I'm on a different channel. Okay, let me go back. We need to go to area of one, because that's where I'm going, I think. History. There it is. It's called Unexpected Backlash.
Has harmed our country in many ways. Accordingly, we should eliminate it from our jurisprudence at the earliest opportunity.
It's called Unexpected Backlash Against Roe Decision, and they talk about Vodi Bachram, Vodi Bachram actually, John MacArthur, Ben Shapiro, Matt Walsh, and all these guys are going to say something. Very interesting video. They all get to say something in this video about abortion and what it means. Ladies, please listen. I'm gonna say it again, and this is the last time I'm gonna say it. Ladies, please, this is the last time I'm gonna say it. There is a big fat, the line is really thick. The line is this thick. Whether it be on paper or something else, it's this thick. There's a big fat metal line, titanium line, an iron line between your body, your choice, and what abortion actually is. Let me say that again. There's this big, giant, fat line. Which is more stronger, titanium or iron? Okay, there's this big fat metal line. It's made out of steel, it's made out of iron, titanium, whichever is stronger. It's a big fat line. It's this big between your right, your body, and what abortion actually is. Now, abortion is no different than a black man buying a house in a sundown state or a sundown city. And your city, your right, your taxes, your right. You were there first, your right. You've been pro-white all this time, and you're afraid what a black man being in your city will do to your politics, your the beauty of your city, whatever. So, and I can understand it's one thing if the black man comes in there acting up, but if he's coming in there following the culture, okay, then why are we trying to get this man out of the neighborhood? There was a house, it was vacant. He moved in because he had the money, he had the credentials, he moved in. But you want to abort this man when he's done nothing wrong to you or your city. And what you don't understand, that just like you, maybe this black man wants to get away from other black people. Maybe this black man wants to live somewhere away from the city and all the riffraff of the city. I'm myself getting ready to make some decisions. I was talking to somebody about Pittsburgh and how Pittsburgh is just really getting on my last nerve. And he was saying, well, why don't you relocate? And I'm really thinking about it. But the place where I'm going to relocate, a lot of black people are telling me that used to be a plantation. I don't care about that garbage, but at the same time, I've been there before. And I was concerned. There were some flags going up, okay? But I was there with my brethren. And when I say brethren, I'm not talking about black men. I'm talking about my white brethren. They were there with me. Had I not been there with my white brethren, I don't know. Okay? And we had a great time. But looking at the culture of that area and how people are set in their ways, highlight that. Okay? I'm scared. I am really scared. Now you say, you make the dumbest assumptions or examples of whatever you talk about, Cruz, and I'm trying to get you to understand that this big fat line makes all the difference. It really does. Ladies, please try to stop thinking about yourself so much and think about what God has blessed you to do. God has blessed you to be the mothers not only of your own children, but of mankind. Eve is the mother of all living. She wasn't just was the mother of all living. She is the mother of all living. Because nobody comes into the planet unless a woman chooses to let you come into this planet. God gave women this power and authority. Ladies, please listen. If every woman was to fight against abortion and to have sex and did not want to be mothers, we are the last generation. Now, maybe these women who are saying, my right, my body, they're shifting the job on other women that want to be mothers, and that's okay. They're shifting the job on married couples, and that's okay. But that's not okay for the child. And when people say, well, my body, my choice, well, what about the baby? They say, what about the baby? Do you understand that you could die and they could save the baby? Or the baby could die and they could save you? So it's not your body, your choice now, is it? People can kill you and save the baby. And they can kill the baby and save you. okay? If I have the keys or the power over somebody's life, not because their life is going to kill mine, but I just have that power and authority over that other person. Ladies, please. If I have the power over, you don't know what it's like. You do know what it's like because you practice abortion. But I don't know what it's like to feel like you to have that power. To say that this person should exist or not exist. I don't know. How's that work for you? Like, there's somebody there. You know, I talked to this young man who just moved in next door to me. We talked this morning. He had no idea. He knew he'd seen me around town. He had no idea that I was his next door neighbor. And we met at the bus stop today, and I says, You're my next door neighbor. He says, I'm what? I says, you're my next door neighbor, aren't you? You're the new guy. He just moved into town. And I let him know my address. It took a while for it to click in. Oh, if you're number 5, oh. Here we go again with one of my dumb ways of thinking of this, something that I guess don't have nothing to do with it, but it's kind of the same way for a child. He's clueless. That you know who you are. All he knows is he's on your so-called property. Or she knows that she's on somebody's property and living off your life support. She doesn't know you personally. They know you more and better when they come out of the womb. Then they can say mama, mama, you know, as their eyes open and they begin to, you know, babble a little bit, okay? They can say mama. But when they're in your womb, they don't know what you look like. They don't know, you know, you other than, you know, they can't help but live off your life support. People will find a dog on their property, a stray dog, and they'll take that dog as a pet. Find a deer, you feed them. Find a rabbit, you feed them. You find a possum, a rat, a raccoon, you don't get out your gun and just boom, 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 boom. Whoop, he's on my property, got to get rid of him. No. You try to make sure that you get them to go away so that you can have your peace on your property, that your garbage is safe, that your animals, your pets are safe. Ladies, that's called birth control. If you were to just kill because these animals are on your property, they're harmless. They're there for food. They're not there to bother you. They're not there to eat you. They're there for food that you left out in the garbage can or you left on the property somewhere or whatever. How many times did you find your cat playing with his little friend it's not a pet? He's nobody's pet. You can't take him in your house and play with him like, well, you can tame him, okay, and make a pet out of that raccoon if you want, if you know what you're doing. But people all across the land, they got pet deer that live on their property, you know, somewhere nearby. The deer walk right in their house and eat out of their hands with antlers and everything. I saw a video like this on TikTok where a guy, he opens up his front door every morning and the same deer comes and eats right out of the palm of his hand. He walks in his front door, he got antlers and everything. You know? But we have this respect for animals. We have this sympathy for animals. They can come on the property as long as they behave themselves and don't tear up my garbage. And I go out there with my own gun, but I'm not going, it would be, I mean, people will die or get bitten or trip and fall and hurt themselves to save a raccoon from getting shot, to save a deer, to save any of these animals, a possum. We were talking about them this morning. I couldn't get the word possum out of my mouth. But the things that people will do out of mercy for things that just show up on their property or even in their house. Even in their house. I remember back when, I was married, and our first house, we lived in a trailer. And, it was all messed up. I mean, it was like, there was this bush, there was these weeds up under the trailer that came through the floor in the bathroom. And there's a little drain there. There's nothing but weeds in that drain. And that's how these rats were getting inside the trailer. These rats and mice were getting inside the trailer. Through the weeds, they were climbing up these little weed bushes and in through that drain that was in the middle of the floor in the bathroom. All we need to do, we did all these things to keep them out, but what we really need to do was cut the bushes underneath the trailer. That's the main thing. That's how they were getting in, because the trailer was pretty high off the ground, but we had all them weeds there. They were thick weeds. I mean, you got tons of bedding for these little creatures that everything from bugs to rats get in there, And we had a problem with hornets and everything. And we found a mouse running around our trailer. And my wife's brother-in-law had an Asian girlfriend. Was it Asian? Was that the Asian girl? I think that was the Asian girl. And she tried to, and she did. She collected this mouse with her bare hands. Just like this. She collected this mouse with her bare hands. And within that little bit of time, she was able to grab that mouse. We're running around, chasing this mouse from room to room. I'm smacking him with a broom, trying to smash this little thing. She grabbed him with her fingers, and then she put him in the palm of her hand like this. And the way she handled this mouse, he immediately felt comfortable right here. And then she took him off the property and let him run loose. Okay? And I remember that. You know what I'm saying? And I'm thinking, I almost smashed a little buzzard. And I know there would have been blood all over the place, but I wanted them dead. But she was able to collect this thing without harming him and letting him out. Letting him go be somebody else's problem. That's called adoption, folks. It's called adoption. And I know people who collect birds and mice, and they collect them for people, and people actually make pets out of, even against government regulation. They make pets out of things, or little rodents that they find, you know running around, the woods and the back alleys, and all like that. I remember, um at my old job, I almost got bit by an alley cat, um way out in the country at the fabrication shop. you know um they would feed these alley cats, and when they told me, well, the cats are hiding in the bedding out there by the garbage can, I'm thinking, and they're saying they're feeding the cats, I'm thinking they're talking about somebody's letting their kittens. So one day, after hearing this over and over and over again, I says, okay, has anybody tried to find the owners of these cats? And they're like, oh, these ain't those kind of cats. These are more like, cats that run in the wild, what they call alley cats. I'm like, dude, are you crazy? They said, oh, these ain't little cats. These cats are pretty humongous. They're like the size of a puma. I'm like, oh my God, dude. I put my hand in there. I've been back there moving furniture. You're telling me we got alley cats hiding out back there? I just got done moving all that furniture back there. You're telling me you're letting them live in there and eat? You're feeding them? I'm like, come on. But again, my point here is we have more respect for animals than we do kids. So we then went from, if I find myself pregnant by accident, kill the baby. Okay? To, if I have the baby, okay, the LGBTQ community has the choice of whether they want that baby to be gay, bisexual, okay, or transgender. He's going to be one of the three or all three. He's not going to get, if he's a girl, he's going to be a boy. If he's a boy, he's going to be a girl. For the simple fact that he has to be groomed into a culture that is against regular motherhood, regular womanhood, and regular manhood. We don't like regular motherhood, womanhood, and manhood. We don't like it. Men should be having babies instead of women. Women should be able to be men, and men should be able to be women that can get pregnant if they want to have kids. And we're looking for science to take God and Jesus and the Holy Spirit and crack them over the head, knock them unconscious, and bury them alive 50 feet under. We want this God person to be gone. Get rid of them. Had enough. I have to do a video about Anna Conspiracy. I think I'll try that tomorrow, depending on how I feel. Her rant. Some things I'd like to say about that today, and I think the guy that broadcast it, he did a good job. Oh, it was, what am I thinking? It was David Lynn. Duh. Okay, it was David Lynn. What am I thinking? David Lynn did a good job of softly, patiently, laughing at Ann Conspiracy. Okay? If that's her name. Anna Conspiracy. You know, the tribe, not the tribe report, with zinc, the Greek something, I forget what it's called. um, has a name to it of their country, of his country. I forget the name of it, but everybody knows Zink Alger. I think that's his name. I think it's either Jink or Zink. I think it's Jink Alger, but it's spelled with a C, C-E-N-K. I think it's Jink. Whatever. The point is, she went to flipping out over this Roe versus Wade overturned, and I didn't know that she would be the type of person to ever get an abortion. She seems to me to be somebody who would be responsible for her body from the jump when she's having sex with, whether I thought she had a boyfriend that she has been with for like God knows how long. You know what I mean? If they did had a baby, well, they just got a new member of the family. Now there's 3 instead of 2. I thought that she was that kind of atheist. You know what I'm saying? I thought that she was that kind of person who, even though she's an atheist and she's totally against, you know, as she said so out of her own mouth, she's totally against the Bible. She don't give a rat's F and A, and but you know, okay. I didn't know though that she needs abortion rights, that abortion rights help her at all, because she doesn't seem to me to be the kind of person. So here, let me get to the end of this video. Okay, look. Number 1. Is abortion killing a child? Now you say, some will argue, now today's abortions are done anywhere within a woman's pregnancy. It doesn't matter whether it's in the beginning of the pregnancy or at the end. Okay? It doesn't matter. But is abortion killing a child? Okay? Everything that has a life form grows from being just, you know, a peanut to a full-blown 4-legged animal, or a plant, or a tree, or whatever. It's just a little peanut. It started off as a peanut. Okay? So even if you kill a child when he's just a little peanut, he's just a little, you know, there's nothing there but a heartbeat. There's enough there to know that you are pregnant. If you know that you are pregnant, if you get diagnosed as pregnant, that means that you have a living life form in your body. So is killing living life forms. When the sperm meets the egg and it forms what will later be confirmed as a child, is that murder when you kill that? Because everything started off like this before it was this. Okay? So to me, it doesn't matter if your doctor tells you that you are pregnant. For you to wait till after your doctor tells you that you are pregnant to stop the pregnancy when you're already pregnant, that's abortion. And it doesn't matter whether it's an embryo or whether it's just, women give all kinds of names that ain't scientific or medical. They call it scar tissue. They call it a thing. You know, a heartbeat? Duh. Women don't understand that it is not your body, your choice, because you have something. It's just like I said, you got mice running around your house. Your house, your choice. Do you kill the mouse or do you just get them out of your house? Like I said, some people, they put traps down. I know I do. And they get in these traps, and these traps kill them after they can't breathe, or after they can't, they try to get out of the trap, and trying to get out of the trap kills them. And I've seen like some gross pictures, back before I moved here. I lived in another place where I constantly had mice and rats running around that place. I told you about, I did videos about that. And I used to come home at night from work and see the most gruesome scenes. Because the trap gets them. I had the little stick traps, little sticky traps. They get a hold of them, and these mice, instead of saying, okay, I'm caught, let me, they panic, and they rip themselves open trying to get off, And the bigger mice or rats are worse than these little baby mice. These little baby mice, they get caught, they're calm until they see a human walk up on them while they're still breathing, and then they go crazy. But these rats or larger mice, the minute they get caught, they'll do whatever. They just abort themselves. They just kill themselves. Because they keep on, they rather tear them, they rather, rip themselves open than to think about, because they're not humans, think about a way to get off the trap. Anyway, enough of that. Number one, it's not your body, your choice. You have somebody living inside of you that doesn't need to live inside of you forever. Once that thing that's living inside of you comes out of you safely, anybody can be that thing's mother. That thing can be kidnapped. That thing that grew out of you can be kidnapped. It can be assaulted. It can be given to adoption. It can be sold into human trafficking. It can be, there's so many good and bad things that could happen to that little fellow or that little lady. Okay? We had a 911 situation last night where, a woman's child got sick on the property, and we had to call 911, and it almost brings you to tears of how everybody just stops. And we even told, like some of the staff, should I called you guys or call 911 first? It says, it's a baby, dude. Call 911. We ain't doctors. Call 911, man. Then call us. Okay, next time call 911, man. And it's funny how I says nobody at this desk, no matter what they got to do, is going to say, oh, I'm in a hurry. You mean you gonna stop and call the cops or call the paramedics? Dude, I got things to do. I need to sign in. I got places to go, people to see. No, the woman says my baby's not breathing, whatever. I don't care who it is. They're gonna stop and be like, hey man, call 911, do your thing. People walked in even while the ambulance were there, wanting to help, because it just touches your heart. The woman thanked me later. I didn't even know she was sitting there, but I walked by and she spoke to me, and then I looked down. She's holding a baby in her hand. You know, they had took the baby to the hospital, and the doctor assured them that the baby was okay. You know, and the baby was nice and quiet. And I told her, I says, well, it looks like, you know, he had a good night's sleep. And she said, yeah, he slept the whole time he was at the hospital, and they gave him some medicine and all like that. And, you know, I says, yeah, that was a close call. You know what I'm saying? Like, you know, it's so easy to kill a baby. All you got to do is not care. All you got to do is not call 911 on time. You know what I'm saying? All you got to do is not know what to do until 911 gets there. You know. And she thanked me because she knows that I could have just, you know, asked whatever I needed for my report and disappeared. But I stood there to make sure, as, you know, not only as security, but people in general that work there, you know, as part of the staff, and you know, in honor of our customers, to make sure that whatever they needed, I got for them, and, you know, to help the paramedics if needed, and whatever, you know, anything I could do. And they thanked me for caring, you know. And people just walk in off the street and come in here and touch your baby because they see the paramedics there. You had a problem. This one couple, they just walked in and stopped. And I'm sure they don't have kids. But they just walked in and stopped and blocked the roadway like, oh, is the baby sick? Ladies, please understand who you are. You are the fountain of life. You are the fountain of life. So number one, abortion, you seem to forget, is about murdering babies. It's murder. Now, we change the definitions. We change the definitions to who God is, and change the definitions to what sin is. We change the definition to what is a man, what is a woman. We change the definition of what gender is. But we're all still men and women breathing while we're playing dumb. But when you kill an unborn child, you didn't just play dumb, you committed murder. I can deal with you being dumb enough to think that you're a man when you're actually a woman, or think that you're a woman when you're actually a man. I can deal with you being gay. I can deal with you, okay, being an atheist and giving definitions for who God is, and how the earth came to be, and, you know, the spirit world and all like that, giving definitions of all these very important topics. However, you didn't commit murder until you killed that unborn child in the middle of your sexual, you know, futility, your sexual stupidity, your sexual craziness. You didn't really go enough to the extreme until an unborn child has been murdered in the process of all this. In the middle of all this, an unborn child has been killed. It's one thing to be a prostitute. Oh yeah, it's just sex. Until sex leads to murder. And I say the same thing if you kill the prostitute that you had sex with. Or you kill the man that you had sex with. Or you kill the lesbian in the middle of all this. You know, or the gay dude or whatever. But wait a minute. That's murder. And then the unborn child? The unborn child had no way of offending you during sex. The unborn child had no way of raping you. The unborn child had no way of things that happen between two people, men and women, or gay people, gay lovers, whatever. That unborn child had no way of offending you whatsoever in any way possible. That unborn child had no way of offending you. So, number one, abortion is killing babies. It was killing babies yesterday. It's killing babies today. Number two, only women can have children. Only women can have children. Number three, it's not your body, your choice. Because if it was your body, your choice, that baby doesn't need your life support. That baby, when you kill yourself, when you kill that baby, you kill yourself. If it's your body, your choice, how come the baby's dead but you ain't dead? Your body, your choice. If that baby was just your body, how come you were able to kill the baby without killing yourself? How come you can be killed and they can still save the baby? It's not your body, your choice. You are the only one that can bring human life into the world. Ladies, think about this. And I know I'm speaking to a certain classification of people. But maybe God will explain to me one day why he didn't sort this out. Because I know it takes a certain type of woman to kill a child, regardless of how she got the child, how she became pregnant, regardless. It takes a certain woman to be so cold-hearted to kill a child. I'm not speaking to all women. I understand that. But I must speak to all women because all women, this is God's design, all women can get pregnant regardless of their sins, regardless of their sexual orientation, regardless of you know, sad things that happen during sex and how sex comes about. Okay? Sex sometimes is the worst thing that can happen to a woman. I understand that. You know, but the baby, he had no clue. He's just in there. You know, he started off of is this? He started off like this, and then there was a heartbeat. He might have been an inch bigger than that, and there's a heartbeat, and he's surviving. He's in there surviving. And you would rather have more mercy for a mouse that ignorantly waltzed up into your house uninvitedly than to have mercy on your child that whoever that man was you slept with happened because of the intercourse between a male gender and a female gender. And regardless of what you've done wrong in your life or your situation in life, the best thing that ever has come out of you is this child. But you rather have more mercy on mice than to have on that child. The mice, let's get them out of the house without killing them. Let's make pets out of them. Let's gather them up and give them to somebody, or gather them up and set them free. A bird get in your house, catch the bird and set him free. Let him get back to his mother, or let him fly across the world and find the rest of his flock. But the child, he must die, because I wasn't expecting. Well, you didn't expect that mouse to come in your house. You didn't expect that bird to fly through your house. You didn't expect that bat to fly through your house. I had the same situation with a bat. A bat flew into my job site one time when I worked at a nursing school. Bat flew in. Everybody, oh, there's a bat. That's a bat, dude. Back up, okay? They called the humane people. I didn't know that you could take these little hickey things and just, as long as the bat has his back turned to you, you could, and put him in a container, and he'll just hang out in there peaceably, okay? And then you take him to a dark place, or you take him to a dark place, shine light on him, and he'll fly away, or something like that. They said they take him back out to the ball field or whatever. They take him to a certain place, and they let him fly away. If he's bitten somebody, then they have to kill him because he bit somebody, you know, or something like that. He got rabies or whatever. I don't know. But my point is, even some of the most, what we would call contagious or dangerous critters out there, we have mercy on every day and night of our lives. But yet, here we are all over the internet, all over the news, acting crazy over the right to kill unborn children, over the right to murder unborn children. My body, my choice. But this child, if you got raped or you had sex with, you know, you were a sex worker, or you were a lesbian and you just were having fun, you put a guy in between you, or whatever, that's the other thing, that's number 5. Okay, whatever the reason you got pregnant with an unwanted child, this child is the most innocent thing in the midst of everything that you've done. This is another reason why the devil wants women to abort their babies, because that child doesn't even need to be saved. That child in God's eyes is precious. He is like a precious lamb already. That child is pure. That's like, you know, fresh water from a spring showing up in the worst time in your life, the worst day in your life, the hottest day in your life, the hardest day in your life. Fresh water from a spring just show up. That's what having a baby is like. No matter how gay you are, lesbian you are, how much sex work you do, how many times you've been raped, whether you've been human trafficked, or whether, you know, you broke up with your boyfriend and then you found out you was pregnant. No matter what the reason is that you became pregnant, that child, oh God, if I could get people to read Bibles, that child is the most innocent thing that you will ever produce. And I look up to women from all walks of life. I've seen women have babies and they decide to stop being gay. I've seen men find out that the woman that they slept with recently was pregnant with their child, and the woman wanted to have the child. They decided to stop being gay and take care of their child and be a father to their own son. Be a mother and a father to their own son. Be a mother and father couple to their own son. I've seen people who were prostitutes, women who were all alone. Like my daughter, my little Deneen is like the youngest of all my grandchildren. She just turned 5. And you can go on Facebook and look at my daughter. I never expected my daughter to get pregnant. But every day she honors that child. Every day she takes pictures of every little thing that child does. If that child, sings a song, boom, it goes on Facebook. If that child draws a picture, it goes on Facebook. If that child, says mommy, it goes on Facebook. She adores that child. This is her new best friend. This is her new best friend. And they have a very, very beautiful relationship. She wasn't expecting to get pregnant. And after she got pregnant, after she had the child, then her and her boyfriend broke up. They both were not expecting to get pregnant, and they were not in a situation to where they should be having a child. But all these government services and benefits and all like that stepped in to help her with this baby. This guy's father and mother stepped in. My ex-wife, my younger daughter, my stepdaughter, they all stepped in. My stepson, they all stepped in to help her with this baby. We were all at the hospital the day she chose to have this baby. She never, not only did the baby not feel so much love wrapped around her, but my daughter never knew that she could be loved so much by everybody around her that she don't even see every day because of her making the right choice. Nobody wanted her to have this baby. I didn't want her to have this baby. When did she become a mother? You know what I'm saying? I could look at her boyfriend and tell that she wasn't ready to have no baby. He definitely ain't ready to have no baby. But she did it anyway. This child is the best thing that ever happened to her life. On her worst day, all she got to do is look at her daughter. And she smiles. Every time she looks her daughter in the face, she smiles. I watched them on their birthday when I took them all out to eat. I'm looking across the table at her. Every time she looked down at her daughter, she just smiled. My daughter has smiled more since she's had her daughter than she has her whole life as a sibling. And we all just sit there and watch her with this child because this is her new best friend. You're thinking too far outside the box, ladies. It's really not that difficult. What's difficult is the fact that you are the mothers of all living. If every woman get abortion, we die. And there is no more human life because only a biological female can bring human life. How do humans get on the planet? God through a woman brings life into the planet. So is it really your body, your choice? Being you're in the hot seat, ladies, being it's all up to you? No, because we're counting on you to bring life. So it's better to plan your pregnancies. It's better to control how much sex you're having. It's better to control pregnancy and all this than to have abortion. Why? Because abortion still is and it will always be murdering children. And that's exactly what it is, ladies. Your body, your choice. No, it's your choice to murder your own child, or a child that you can give away to somebody else if you choose. It's not your body, your choice. It's your choice to murder, because that child can live without you. That child can be taken out of you early and live without you. That it happens all the time. That child, and you can live without that child. That child can die within you without an abortion, and you can still live. Women have miscarriages all the time. Every day, women have miscarriages. So is it really your body, your choice? No, it's God's choice, because God chose whether that child would live inside you or die. Okay? So we don't need abortion. God can choose whether a child lives, okay, or dies, all by himself. We don't need abortions. You just need to decide how you want to live your life once you find out that you're pregnant. But murdering your child, that's unnecessary, ladies. I don't care. You know, and trust me, women having babies in the middle of everything that they thought was just too busy and too crazy in their lives, like my daughter, okay, it changes your life. Instead of aborting that child, let that child turn your life around. That child will turn your life around. That child will turn you into a saint real fast. That child will break you and turn you into a saint real fast. Real fast. You'd be surprised. But I am DeRoy Cruz. I am your life applications officer. Thank you for watching. This has been a long video, but it was worth it. And ladies, please think about the child. Think about the child. Don't be so selfish and just think about yourself. God bless you.